This is Tech for Senior, episode 233. That's a lot of episodes, Hewie.
Sure is.
Anyway, it is the first day of fall and 93 days left till Christmas. So start making your shopping lists and getting ready for Black Friday. I want to thank everyone for coming today. We have a great show for you. I'll be introducing everybody in just a minute. But I would like to thank 2 donations we got this week. As you know, we still have our donations page open, and John Waller and Victor Alera both very generously contributed. Thank you so much to John and Victor. I don't know if they're here today, but thank you for your contribution. I want to go over and talk in just a minute now about our newsletter on Saturday. Just let everyone know a couple of things. But before we do that, I want to thank our sponsors for the newsletter. Of course, the Central Florida Computer Society. We have, of course, that great website where you can see lots of diving pictures. That's Geeks on Tour. And of course, we have the Glendora Seniors Computer Club. Thank you for those. Thank you for our sponsors. I wanted just to, let me just share my screen here. You should be able to see the best of YouTube channels. Can you see? There you go. You should be able to see that now. Part of what I do on the on our Saturday newsletter is I have Ron's the best YouTube channels, Ron's favorites, and so I post this each week of interesting channels. And this channel I have that I put in the newsletter was called Scary Interesting, and it's about the history of different things that have happened. And the video that I highlighted was this was a ship in the 1680s from Holland who left going down to the East Indies, and they were going to do trading, and it's about a mutiny and all the things that happened with this ship, which was very, very interesting. So they provide some, and it was well done. It was really well done. It's something I'd never heard of. So I just want to let you know that each week on Saturday, I put a website, a YouTube channel that I find is very interesting. So you might want to have a look at that, and it's all free, so you can subscribe to it and then listen to some of the articles that they have. But that was really, really an interesting. So if you are interested in YouTube, that is a channel that you want to follow along. It's got some interesting stuff. All right, that's today's premiere video will of course be on what was on a year ago, and Greg's going to talk about smoke detectors. You remember Greg's great talk on smoke detectors? He's going to give us a great review of that. I'm going to do part 2 of protecting your heart. You probably saw part 1 last week, so this will be part 2. And Huey's going to talk about how to reset your iPhone. So those are the three pieces that will be on our premiere video that will be at 1:30. Let's have a look here. I think that's about it. We'll get on with the show. Huey, how the heck are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
I really like your video today. Yeah, I really like your video today. I did peek at it this morning.
A lot of people will get to see it in just a few minutes.
They will indeed. They will indeed. And Bob, you're doing okay?
I'm just fine, thanks. Good morning.
And Bob, or sorry, Bill. Bill, what's happening over? Is that high rise going up yet?
No. But I had my first eye repaired with cataract surgery, and it's worked out very well. So
you did. In fact, you were on the show on Thursday, and you just had the surgery the day before.
Yeah.
So you did very well. Excellent. And Ray, no there yet?
No, it's still in the 60s this morning, so it's nice. But on the cataract surgery for Bill, I had mine a little over a year ago, and it was one of the best decisions I ever made. I was having a little bit of difficulty with watching, with the night driving and lights coming at me. Now drive at
Perfect.
night all the time, not an issue. So, and if
Excellent.
anybody's contemplating it, go forward with it.
Go for it.
You won't regret it.
I would agree.
And thank you. Well, thanks a lot for that. And of course, we welcome Chris and Jim Gould back. We've been talking about all their travels. Oh wow, you guys just do so much. Anyway, we're happy to see you back, and look forward to seeing some of your pictures as well. So that'll be great.
Well,
All right,
they're all
Bob.
there.
All right, Bob, let's get going. We've got a big show today. Let's take it away.
Here is my tech talk for the week ending September 20th, 2024. And this week's topic is Internet of Things, showcasing innovative IoT devices and their impact on daily life. Imagine living in a world where your home takes care of you. Lights adjust themselves, doors lock automatically, and reminders pop up just when you need them. Sounds like a dream? Well, wake up, because the Internet of Things is turning this into reality, especially for those who could use a little extra help around the house. But this isn't just about shiny new gadgets. The Internet of Things, or IoT, is reshaping our daily lives in ways that are both practical and empowering. Curious about how this could make a difference for you or someone you love? Stick around, because what you're about to learn might just transform your everyday life. So why should seniors pay attention to IoT? It's simple. These smart devices aren't just for tech enthusiasts. They're designed to enhance comfort, safety, and independence. Let's delve into how. First up, smart home devices. Imagine lights that turn on automatically when you enter a room, reducing the risk of trips and falls. Smart thermostats can learn your schedule and adjust the temperature to keep you comfortable without you lifting a finger. Devices like smart plugs can control appliances remotely, so you never have to worry about whether you left the iron on. Then there's voice-activated assistants like Amazon Echo or Google Home. These gadgets can set medication reminders, read out the news, or even make phone calls, all through simple voice commands. No need to fiddle with small buttons or complicated menus. Health is paramount, and IoT is making strides here too. Wearable health monitors like smartwatches can track your heart rate, monitor sleep patterns, and even detect falls. Some devices can alert emergency services if they sense something's wrong. It's like having a personal health assistant on your wrist. Let's talk about smart medication dispensers. These devices ensure you take the right pills at the right time by providing alerts and dispensing the correct dosage. They can even notify a caregiver if a dose is missed. It's peace of mind for you and your loved ones. Now, how about smart doorbells and security systems? With features like video monitoring and motion detection, you can see who's at the door without getting up. Some systems allow you to talk to visitors remotely, adding an extra layer of security and convenience. But with all this technology, safety and privacy become crucial. Here are some practical tips to use these devices securely. Use strong passwords. Create unique passwords for each device and/or app and change them regularly. Avoid using easily guessable information like birthdays. Keep software updated. Manufacturers release updates to fix security vulnerabilities. Make sure your devices are set to update automatically or check for updates regularly. Secure your Wi-Fi network. Ensure your home Wi-Fi has a strong password, and consider using network encryption to prevent unauthorized access. Be cautious with personal information. Only provide necessary information when setting up devices. Be wary of unsolicited requests for personal data. Purchase from reputable brands. Stick to well-known manufacturers who prioritize security and have good customer support. For seniors new to IoT, starting small can make the transition smoother. Consider these beginner-friendly devices. Smart plugs. Control lamps or small appliances remotely, or set them on a schedule. Digital voice assistants. Use voice commands to play music, get weather updates, or set reminders. Medical alert systems. Wearable devices that can call for help at the press of a button. Don't forget, there are plenty of resources to help you get started. Many community centers and libraries offer classes on using smart devices. Family members or tech-savvy friends can also provide guidance. Embracing IoT devices can significantly enhance independence and quality of life. They offer convenience, improved safety, and keep you connected with loved ones. Plus, they can make daily tasks a bit more enjoyable. So why not give it a try? The Internet of Things isn't just connecting devices. It's enriching lives, especially for those who deserve it most. You'll find the video of today's Tech Talk at the link listed. Did you know? During 1980s, an IBM computer was not considered to be 100% compatible if it could not run Microsoft Flight Simulator. Surgeons who grew up playing video games make 37% fewer mistakes. The shadow on horizontal sundials in the northern hemisphere moves around the face of the dial clockwise, but in the southern hemisphere, it moves counterclockwise. The original Xbox home screen contained edited snippets of actual transmissions from the Apollo mission. Just thought you might want to know. Life is not a spectator sport. If you're going to spend your whole life in the grandstand just watching what goes on, in my opinion, you're wasting your life. Thanks to Jackie Robinson. And that's a wrap for this week's Tech Talk and Beyond. Stay safe, stay secure, and I'll see you again next week. Bye-bye, and thanks for reading, watching, and listening.
Thanks, Bob. I think that it was great. I also liked your automatic pill dispenser. It looked like the drink of the day rather than a pill dispenser. I think that'll be great. We'll get reminded for the drink of the day. Anyway.
Why not?
Yeah, exactly. Or were they putting pills in a slushy and that was with adding some and stuff to keep your bowels regular, and that was all the cocktail that was being dispensed? Maybe that's it. Anyway, well done. Thanks a lot. All right, I want to thank Drew today for doing the next segment for us. This is a new file manager that you can use on Windows 10 and 11. Drew, of course, has all the greatest reasons why you should give this a try. So let's see what he has to say.
Hi, this is an introduction to a new file manager that's available for Windows 10 and Windows 11. And it's the website is files.community, and it is a power meets beauty. It is a very elegantly designed tabbed file manager. Yes, tabbed file manager. So if for those of you who are on Windows 10 and don't have and would like to have a tabbed file manager, this is, I think, the best tabbed file manager you can add to Windows 10. It's also very useful to add to Windows 11, and I'll show you why. The Windows 11 file manager, at least in its current state, does not restore tabs that you have open. This does. And so what I'm going to do is show you, if you go to download, they give you two choices. They would like you to donate by downloading files from the Microsoft Store, and this will open the Microsoft Store. I don't want to do that. The other option you have is to don't have access to the Microsoft Store, click on Classic Installer, and it will download to your computer the installer file without having to pay $9 for the file manager from the Microsoft Store. If you'd like to donate money after you use it, you're more than welcome to go into the Google Play, the Microsoft Store, and purchase it. When you have File Manager, when you have it open at the very beginning, it comes up to a home area very similar to Windows 11. And these are all of the same things that I have pinned to quick access in my regular Windows File Explorer. Additionally, I have a list of my hard drives, network locations, and as in the Windows 11 File Explorer, your recent files. Okay. On the left-hand side, you have your pinned items, and you have your libraries, your drives, your cloud drives. I have a pCloud drive, OneDrive. This here is a little bit of a bug. It says Google Drive Documents, and it's not. It's not Google Drive Documents. It's actually OneDrive Documents, and I need to report this to them and let them know that somehow I managed to get an entry in here that is inconsistent with their design. I don't know how I got this here, but it's wrong, to be quite honest. And another new thing that they have in this file manager is tags. And they give you important photos, work, and home as default tags. And the way that you add a new tag is you go into Settings and Tags, and then you can add a new tag. And you can change the color to whatever you want it to be. I'll make it hot pink, and I'll call it TFS, Tech for Senior. And I'll say Create. Now, if I want to designate any file that I have, let's say I go into my home folder and I want to designate, I've already designated, you can see, a file with the tag work. Here is another one I'll put in, and I'll right click it, and I'll say that I want to add a tag. I'll put it in Tech for Senior. And then if I scroll down to Tech for Senior, there is my speedtest.ps1 with my Tech for Senior tag. So, very clean interface on the left-hand side, but what's really nice is I can decide that I want this tab to be my Downloads folder, and I want this tab to be my Home folder, and I want this tab to be my Stug website design folder, and I would like my next one to be my pCloud drive, and I would like my next one to be my Google Drive, and I can set it to my Google Drive. And then lastly, I'll add my Microsoft OneDrive. Now, if I close this program out, it doesn't get rid of all of those tabs. If I go back in and I open the file manager again, it comes right back the way it was before. and opens up all of my familiar tabs. It's almost like restoring a web browser to the previous tabs that you had open. You can't do this with the Windows 11 or 10 file manager. This is something that you can only do, I believe, in this file manager. It has a very nice, clean interface. It supports tabs. It's good for both versions of Windows. Very clean interface on the left-hand side. And this has been my introduction to Community Files File Manager for Windows.
Thanks, Drew. That's excellent. Now, I hope you'll be around for any Q&A at the end. Will you be here?
Yes, I will.
Excellent. I'm sure there'll be lots of questions about that. That's excellent. All right. Purchase considerations for a new PC. I did this a year ago.
Thank you for continuing to hold. Please have the patient name, MRN, and clinical.
There we go. Thanks, Bob. So I made a video a year ago about this, which was well received. So this is an update in purchase considerations for a PC in 2024. Let me just share my screen. I'm here buying a new computer. Oh my God, I'm getting stressed. There's Windows 10, Windows 11. There's CoPilot. There's Snapdragon chips. There's CPUs. There's GPUs. There's TPUs. There's NPUs. I'm so confused. I'm really stressed out. Hey, calm down. It's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we help explain technology. You know, purchasing a computer in 2024 can be a very confusing task. But you know, I'm making this video the end of September 2024. And in case you want to know, there's less than 100 days left till Christmas. And we also have Black Friday coming up in about 8 weeks. Most of the computers sold in 2024 will be sold through the months of August to December. So there is going to be some great buys. There's lots of new models out there. I'm going to take this video and explain some of the complexities now in purchasing a PC in 2024. So this is the first of 3 videos I'll be making. This is about purchase considerations for a PC. The second one will be about purchase considerations for a Chromebook, and the third will be purchase considerations for a Mac. I did that last year, and I wanted to give you some guidance as we move into the busy season coming up. So those videos will be out over the next month, but this today is purchase considerations for a PC in 2024. Now, usually at this time is when we talk about like and subscribe, and you know, hitting that like and subscribe button. Don't do that. I want to earn your respect and earn your business, so do that at the end of the video. We'll talk a little bit about it later, but hold off on the like and subscribe right now. So maybe you're looking at purchasing a new computer because your Windows 10 machine is coming to end of life. As you know, after October 25th, 2025, next year, of course, your PC will no longer be supported if you're using Windows 10. Maybe you're thinking maybe about AI. You've heard about AI and you want to get an AI machine. Or maybe you're starting to make YouTube videos. You're all excited about that, but it takes so long to render a video that you make in your video editing software. So you're looking at possibly upgrading for that. So there may be many reasons why you're looking for a PC, and we'll try to address those today in this video. The first issue is Windows 10 versus Windows 11. Non-issue, and that should not be a purchase consideration because all the machines you're going to buy now are going to have Windows 11, and you're going to be happy. Windows 11 is a great software program. It's more secure, it's easy to use, and you know, it's not that much different than Windows 10. All your programs are going to work. Your machine's going to come with a brand new version of Windows 11 on it, and just get on with it. Yes, there will be some irritating little things where Microsoft's moved one of the menus and you can't find it, or there's some little thing that will just drive you nuts. But after a while, you'll get used to it and you'll just be happy with it. So it's not an issue and not a purchase consideration at all. So if you haven't bought a PC for 5 or 6 years, I really want you to pay attention to what we call the GPU, or graphical processing unit. This is a real key part in your purchase decision. Now, way back when, we always had GPUs. Think of graphical processing unit as a computer within a computer. It has to do with your display. But over the years, of course, this has become more important, and there's a company called NVIDIA that has come along, and you may or may not know about them, but they happen to be the second or third largest company in the world now. And most computers now have an NVIDIA card in, and this is called a graphical processing unit. And it's so important if you plan on doing anything particularly like video editing. Now, NVIDIA makes a whole bunch of different of cards with these GPUs on them. And it's not within the scope of this video to go through that. Now, if you're a gamer, forget it. You know exactly what you need as far as those cards. Gamers always are really up to date on those. But when you go and you see this picture here with the Dell computer, you can choose what NVIDIA card you want to be built with your computer. And I think you should look at the specs on that and consider it. Because if you are starting to do some video editing, maybe you want to start a YouTube channel, have some fun with that, well, then you want to have a lot of power. And a lot of the video editing software runs on the chip within the GPU on your computer. So this is so important. In fact, my NVIDIA card on my computer, about 4 years old now, has 8 gigabits of RAM just on the card. And this can make a huge difference between rendering your video. It could be, with a faster card, you could be down to 5 minutes for a short video. Whereas if you have a slower machine, you could be rendering it for half an hour or an hour for some larger videos. So it really does make a huge difference. So when if you're looking at a specific application, you should be considering what graphical card you're going to put in there and which version of the NVIDIA series you're going to want. That's so important. We're going to come back to that in just a minute. Now, the next thing you might consider is AI. You've heard a lot about AI. Maybe it's something you haven't tried, but you think it's something good and you might want to do that. And you think you might need an AI computer. So you're at Best Buy now, and of course there's lots of displays with AI for AI computers. You can run artificial intelligence on any computer. The three that I use every day, of course, is Microsoft's CoPilot. I use Google Gemini, and of course started out with ChatGPT. These are three big AI programs. They're all run off the cloud. So it doesn't matter. I use them on my Windows 10 machine, my Windows 11 machine. You pay a little bit more. They give you advanced features and they get real fast. And that's based because it's all cloud computing. Has nothing to do with an AI chip on your PC. So you can run AI very well on an existing PC. You can run very well without an AI chip in your PC. So when you go to Best Buy and you're looking around at all these displays, you probably will see a big display saying CoPilot plus PC. And so what is that? Well, you go and say, well, does it have an i7, an i5, or i3 processor in there? And you'll see it's got a Snapdragon chip in it. You'll say, whoa, what's all that about? Now, my advice is if you're not going to be doing video editing, that really is not an issue. So the specific graphical processing unit or that GPU card that we were talking about is not an issue. I would certainly think about getting a machine with the AI chip in it. Now, what's going to happen over the next, this stuff changes daily and it's really rapidly changing, is that right now, all the AI that we have run in the cloud. So it's all happens outside your computer. But what's going to happen very quickly is large language models, these are the models we use for AI, are going to be run on your computer. Yes, they're going to be run right locally on your PC. Now, it comes back to the same thing about videos and GPUs. Is that when we download these large language models, the software that runs this AI, it's going to be running on a specialized chip that's called an NPU, or neural processing unit, which is the chip that's going to be running this. and that's going to make it run real fast. Now that's not sort of there yet, but it is coming, and I think it's going to come pretty quickly. So it would be nice if you're thinking about purchasing a PC to consider an AI PC. I think over the next, you're probably going to buy this as a 3 to 5 year purchase, and I think that's a good idea. I think you'll be, I think it's a good idea because you're going to be prepared for the future, and I think the future is coming real quick. So think about that. One of the problems that occurred right now is, of course, Microsoft was first off the mark with this. And now we're seeing Intel, we're seeing NVIDIA, we're seeing other companies that are bringing out NPU chips. So as you go and purchase these, there's going to be a lot more choice for you. It used to be a few months ago, it was only the CoPilot plus PC. The issue that I have with the Snapdragon chip is that the graphical processing unit within there is very average, and it's not changeable. So it's sort of an average chip, and I don't think you'll be super happy. If your goal, like mine is, I spend most of my life creating videos and publishing them and doing video editing. So it's not going to work out until probably NVIDIA gets their NPU chip going and gets things organized, and that's sort of coming. So you might just think a little bit about that on what you're going to use your machine for. As far as pricing goes, computers with AI, such as they have the NPU chip, are a little more money. You're probably maybe talking about $100 to $200 more, depending on what model you get. So think about it. Those are some thoughts for you. This is where I earn my like and subscribe. This is a key point in this video. Please think about this seriously before you buy your PC. All right, you're at the store. Is it a laptop you're going to buy, or is it a PC you're going to buy? Which one should you purchase? Well, obviously, if you're mobile and you want to move it around, a laptop is the way you want to go. But a lot of people I see that purchase laptops never move them off their desk. It's a waste of money, and of course, you're buying a battery that you don't need. It's just going to sit there, and it's not going to do you any favors. So it is so important that you make a decision about that. And I'm going to tell you a key thing you may not have thought about. I have in my office here, connected to my PC, two 32-inch monitors. I don't want a 14 or 15-inch monitor on a laptop. That would drive me nuts. I need big screens for the type of work I do. So I am really happy that I have two 32-inch screens. So the thing you need to know about Windows is you get your choice. You can have two monitors. Yep, you can have two monitors on any Windows machine. Just plug the monitors in, and you got your choice of two, and you can run them together. So on my PC that I have here, I have an NVIDIA card. I have two 32-inch monitors plugged directly in to the NVIDIA card, which gives me very fast performance on these two monitors. I don't have any problem. So the problem with laptops is you get two monitors, but in your choice of two monitors, you have to choose that little 14 or 15 inch as one of the two. So if you think you're going to buy a laptop and you're going to plug two 32-inch monitors into that laptop, it ain't going to work. You only get your choice of two monitors, and one of those, if it is a laptop, has to be that small screen, which means you can't plug two 32-inch monitors into a laptop. Just a minute, hold on. I know you're writing things in the comments now, and of course you can. You can plug any number of screens into a laptop. That's not a problem, but you're going to need to buy some more hardware. You're going to need a docking station, and you can buy a docking station for one monitor, two monitors, three monitors, four, you get the idea. And that will, of course, through a software link into your main laptop, will allow you to run multiple monitors on your laptop. Well, that, of course, is more money, and the more monitors you put on, of course, the higher the cost, And also the problem is resources stability. And you know, I make these videos to tell you about all the mistakes I made. And when I had my ThinkPad, I thought I was going to run these two monitors and everything was going to run on my laptop. Well, I found big stability issues with it. It also, one monitor would turn off suddenly and the other monitor was fine. It adds a whole other level of complexity trying to make multiple monitors work on a laptop. So think about that, because if you are thinking of, yes, you want to plug your two big monitors in, well, a PC is the way to go. So think about that. That's a critical decision that you need to make in how you're going to be managing your computer hardware. All right, two other quick items. Windows 11 versus Windows 11 Pro. Don't spend the extra money on Windows 11 Pro. It has features there you most likely will not use. And Windows 11 Pro is essentially the same as Windows 11, so no need to spend that extra money. The second thing is, if you are going to buy a laptop, don't spend money on a 4K screen. Who needs a 4K 14 or 15-inch screen? It's not going to make a difference, and you're just going to be spending a lot of money on that screen technology, which you don't need. All right, it's Ron Brown with Tech for Senior, where we make videos to help you understand technology. If you click that like and subscribe, we'll notify you when we produce our next video. In the meantime, have a great day and enjoy your computing purchasing experience as we move in closer to Black Friday.
Hopefully you can see in here. Microsoft CoPilot features to increase your productivity. I'm Hewie Poplock. Let's go from an idea to Word to PowerPoint and create a presentation very quickly and easily using CoPilot. First, we go to office.com online. Now, I am a member and an owner of Microsoft 365. I do pay for the subscription. I'm also on the trial of the subscription for CoPilot Pro. So I'm using both of those to make this happen. But let's take a look. First, we'll open up Word. We want to describe what we would like CoPilot to write. So we're going to type in what are notifications in Windows 10 and 11 and how do you manage them. This is now CoPilot within Word. When we click that, it will create a draft of an article telling us how to do that. Now, for time purposes, I am going to assume that everything is correct, is you are going to check and make sure that all of the items that it talks about are correct. You can tell it to keep it, and that's what we're going to do, is keep it. So it is now a Word document. We can make any edits here that we want if we feel that it's necessary. The next thing we're going to do is come up to File and Export. These choices do not appear on your desktop version. So I'm going to tell it to export to PowerPoint. Remember, this is going to be real time, folks. So we're going to now choose some kind of a theme. And if we didn't like those, we can see more. Let's do this and export. Now this is real time and it's done. Now let's open the presentation. And here we go. And let's quickly go through the presentation. I'm not going to read everything. I'm just going to show you that it created all of the slides that we need for our presentation. This is PowerPoint. We can do this. Let's take this screen and we, instead of doing this, insert a picture from this device. And we're going to replace it with this, just so we get the right size. We will delete this picture and and there we go. Now we're showing where the notifications go in that PowerPoint. So that's how you create very quickly, very easily, a PowerPoint presentation from an idea, putting it in Word, and then bringing it into PowerPoint. Then edit your PowerPoint. Let's write an email using CoPilot. This time we're going to go to Outlook Online. We need to sign in. We're going to tell it we want new mail. We want to go to CoPilot. Draft with CoPilot. What we want to say is the following. I spent the night at the home of Mike and Joyce while in town for a memorial service for a good friend of ours. Write me a great thank you note. And I just click generate. And then we'll tell it to keep it. I just wanted to take a moment to express my gratitude for your hospitality during my recent trip. Staying with you, Mike and Joyce, provided me with comfort during a difficult time. Your kindness and warm welcome made all the difference while I was in town for the memorial service of our dear friend. The conversations and moments we shared were truly special, and I will always remember them. Thank you again for opening your home to me. I sign my name, I put the title and to whom, and I send it. Very nice. I got a real nice note. It's difficult for me sometimes to write those kind of things. The third feature I'm going to cover is forms. So we, again, are at office.com, and instead of a document or a presentation, this time we're going to go to a form. And it immediately opens up with the CoPilot box, and I am going to create a form for the next ℸ Lunch and Learn get-together. The following information is needed: first name, last name, email address. Are you a member or a guest? And please affirm that you understand there's a donation of $5 to cover the cost of food. We're going to tell it to generate that. Just takes a couple of seconds. There's our form. It looks like everything is fine, so I tell it to keep it. There's our form. It is complete and ready to go. We can also style it. So let's go ahead. We'll do this. Keep it. There's the heading and the information. So that's all there is to creating a form. Just put in what you want, and then you can add a new question. You can add with CoPilot. You can then edit the form to whatever way you would like, add more things to it, and then make it available for your users to fill out. Free Microsoft CoPilot features to increase your productivity. I'm Hewie Poplock. Do remember that I do have the paid 365 Microsoft. However, CoPilot will work with it, but it may not be as complete built in. And then the pro version of CoPilot, which is separate from that, I did sign up for the trial. You get 30 days to try it. I'm in that trial period. So it's another $20 a month if you want that. But what I showed you for the presentation is the fact that if you're in a user group and you want to do a quick presentation because somebody didn't show up or you don't have something, you can do it so easily and just have CoPilot make the Word document and then create the PowerPoint, and away you go. And with
Thanks,
that,
Hewie.
back to you.
Yep. Thanks, Hewie. That's outstanding. Really good. Thanks so much. Hold on, Bob. Before I get going, I want to just hold on. Whoa. I want to talk just briefly before you start. Anyway, so this week I was having some problems with the copying pasting into email, and I said, Bob, can you help me with this? And Bob said, I've done a video on it. Bob's done a video on everything, right? And so I said to Hewie, and Bob said, we even played it on the show. And then I asked Hewie, who has a better memory than I do, and I said, Hewie, do you remember that? And he said, no, I never remember that. And I couldn't remember it. So I thought, well, if we can't remember it, maybe you can't remember it. So if we have played this before, I apologize. And thank you, Bob, for helping me and making a video about it. Go ahead, Bob.
Link cleaners versus link shortener. So what's the difference? In this video, I'll try to show you exactly what the difference is. A link cleaner removes the tracking information. A link shortener simply makes it shorter. It removes nothing. So let's dig into this and let's take a closer look at the difference between a link cleaner and a link shortener. Through my emails this morning, one of the subscriptions I receive is from How to Geek. There was an article, you're looking at it. I wanted to take a closer look at it. So taking a closer look, select it, and that opens up the website. Now, if we take a closer look at the web address, let's scroll over and take a look at the full web address. Notice all of this stuff, that's all part of that web address. Well, all of this stuff is not only the article, but it's lots and lots of tracking information. If I wanted to share this link with someone else, I want them to just simply get the clean link. I don't want them to have access to all the tracking information. To clean the link, you want to get rid of all the garbage. Now, there are two ways to do that. You can simply go, let's go back to in the address itself. And when you go back, let's keep going, as all of this is still tracking information. Okay, now you see here, flip 6 review / and a question mark. Well, the question mark is where all the tracking stuff starts. So if I highlight all of this and delete it, this is the link I'm left with. Now, if I hit the enter key, it brings me up to the clean link. And if I now take another look at this web address, there it is. That's all there is. There is no tracking information afterwards. This is the link I want to copy and pass on to whoever I want to share this with. But as you saw, that took a lot of effort to find out, well, where does the link stop? Where does the tracking information start? What do I have to delete? What can I safely pass along without passing along any of my information? That's a real pain. There is a service called Link Cleaner, and Link Cleaner does all of this work for you. So if I go back to my email, if I do a right click and copy that link, notice when I paste all of that information into the address bar here, it automatically removes all the fluff that came after that /. All I did was paste in, let me clear this out and do it again, type or paste the link. Well, copy the link, go back to Link Cleaner, paste it here, and I get a clean link. It has eliminated all the stuff that's the tracking information. Now, that is what you call a clean link, not a short link. Now, let's take a look at the short link. Again, we'll go back to the website itself, which has all of that tracking information attached to it. And I'll go to something called Tiny URL, select it. It now gives me a shortened link. I can copy it. Let me open up my notepad, get to a clean place on here, paste it in here, and there's my tiny URL link, nice and short. But do I really want to pass this on to my friends? Well, let's take a look. We'll copy that link. We'll open up the browser in a clean spot. We'll paste that link. And we'll open that link. Look, it brings me right back to that same article. But what did I really go to? Let's take a closer look. And you'll notice that, whoops, it doesn't end here where it should. It has all the tracking information as part of the web address. So I did not hide my tracking information. I simply consolidated all of that into a short link. So short and clean, a big difference. Yes, short is short, but it isn't clean. Now, if you're interested in Link Cleaner, which gives you the ability to shorten it, you can simply add the address to your bookmarks. And when you want to shorten a link, open up that web address, paste in the long link, and it will turn it into the clean link. Or you can do one other thing. When you have this page open, go to your settings in your browser, whatever browser you're using. This works in most Chromium-based browsers. And when you go down to where it says Save and Share, you'll see it says Install Link Cleaner. It can install this for you as a progressive web app. Let's do that. Install Link Cleaner. You'll have to agree and install it because it does install it. And now we have this resident on our desktop. It's on our desktop. If I minimize this, you can see it's now part of the apps on my desktop. And as with any app, if you right-click it, you can pin this to the start. You can also drag it down and add it to your taskbar, whichever you prefer to do. But it's now there, and when you click on it, it opens. You can paste in your long link and clean it up. That's all it takes. That's how you can share clean links. Stay safe, stay secure. I hope that helps.
Hey, great stuff, Bob. Excellent. I'm sure there'll be some questions in the Q&A, but we have to get along and we have to get to Ray's toe tapping music, which of course will be starting in just a second as soon as I say goodbye to the YouTube feed. Thank you so much for coming. And if you want to pop over and participate in the Q&A, you're most welcome to. We'll let you in. We've still got room in the show. So Ray, go ahead, and I'll just stop the feed now.
Today we're going to talk about a singer that I had not heard of before. Her name is Eva Cassidy, and she was born on February 2, 1963, but sadly died on November 2, 1996. It's an American singer and a musician known for her interpretations of jazz, folk, and blues music, and sung with a powerful, emotive soprano voice. So she was born in Washington, D.C. and raised in nearby Maryland, and from an early age displayed an interest in art and music. When she was 9, her father began teaching her to play the guitar, which led to her playing and singing at family gatherings. In 1992, she released her first album. It was called The Other Side, and it was a set of duets with musician Chuck Brown, followed by the 1996 live solo album titled Live at Blues Alley. Now, although she had been honored by the Washington Area Music Association, she was virtually unknown outside of her native Washington, D.C. at the time of her death from melanoma at the age of only 33 in 1996. So 2 years after her death, Cassidy's music was brought to the attention of British audiences when her versions of Field of Gold and Over the Rainbow were played on BBC Radio. Following the overwhelming response, a camcorder recording of Over the Rainbow taken at Blues Alley in Washington by her friend Brian McCulley was shown on BBC's Top of the Pops. Shortly afterwards, the compilation album Songbird climbed to the top of the UK album chart, almost 3 years after its initial release. The chart success in the United Kingdom and Ireland led to increased recognition of Cassidy worldwide. Her I always have trouble with his word, posthumously released recordings, including 3 #1 albums and 1 #1 single in the UK, sold more than 10 million copies. Her music has also charted with the top 10 in Australia, Germany, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland. In total, the 9 posthumous albums had been released. The most recent, I Can Only Be Me, is a collaboration with the London Symphony Orchestra, and that was released in 2023 and charted at number 9 on the UK album chart. Cassidy's legacy continues to grow, with her music touching the hearts of many around the world. These releases after her death have sold over 10 million copies, and she's remembered as one of the greatest voices of her generation. So a big thank you to regular TFS attendee JJ Johnson for recommending Ava Cassidy, an artist I too was not aware of. And today's clip has Ava performing People Get Ready at the Blues Alley Jazz Supper Club in Georgetown, DC on January 3, 1996, 10 months before her passing. And this is just the first. I have 2 other Tech for Senior attendees who have given me some recommendations, and I will be playing those in future weeks. I really do.
Wow, that's great. Really, I didn't know. I'd never heard of her.
I never did either.
Imagine only becoming really famous after you've died.
Anyway, thanks so much, Ray. It's nice to see you getting input from also our viewers as well, because that's great. You know, we do encourage that. And if you have any, remember the Google Lens talk I did last week was sponsored, from someone asked me, hey, can you do something on Google Lens? So just ask us and we'll see what we can do for you, right?
Very good. Thank you, Ron.
Okay, excellent. Now we're going to open this up to Q&A in a minute, but I want to thank you. If you have to skedaddle out of here, don't forget we have our premiere version coming up at 1/2 and don't forget our Thursday show this week, which is on Thursday. We'll be having some interesting talks on Thursday. I think, and now I could be wrong about this, but I was reading this morning, I think Facebook has their big announcement or their big sort of seminar or whatever conference they're having, so we might have some Facebook stuff. I haven't decided yet what the topics are going to be yet, but it'll be in the newsletter, of course, coming out tomorrow. And we look forward, of course, to Bill's gadgets. You'll have some gadgets in our newsletter, so all good stuff. So that's all coming up, and we'll of course be back here same time, same place next week. Let's get into the Q&A, and of course, I want to lead that off because I have a question for Drew. Where's Drew? Drew? Are you here?
Who's here?
You're
Hello.
here. Great. I've got a question for you about your file manager. Some of the file managers I've used in the past make permanent changes that change the file structure, and when you want to get rid of them or delete the software, it just makes a mess of things. If you decide that you don't like this after you've installed it and you decide you want to uninstall this program, do things go back to normal, or is there any ongoing issues that you might have?
I have this software installed on 4 computers, and I've been using it for about a year or so, and I have observed no ill side effects from it whatsoever. It doesn't change anything in your regular file explorer. I haven't seen it do anything negative.
Right, but if you wanted to uninstall it, suppose you say, I don't want to use this program anymore. I just want to uninstall it. So you go in and you
just go into settings and apps and uninstall it.
And then all your files go back to exactly the way they were, so it's like it was never there.
Yes.
Okay. All right. That's good. All right. That's what
Drew, would you put a link to that in the chat, please?
Sure. It's files.
Just put it in the chat. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. Well, that's and I see that it's been getting a lot of interest as well on YouTube. So it's good. It's I think there'll be a lot of interest in that. I like the tab, I really like the tabs. I think that's cool. I think that's very neat. Any other questions? Just
we threw a lot at them today.
Yeah. Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, when you were looking at laptops, did you see any that had display ports and HDMI ports?
Yeah, it depends. It depends on the laptop. I guess I haven't actually gone and reviewed all of the laptops, but it really depends on the laptop and the cards that are in the laptop.
Yeah, because I haven't tried it yet on mine, but I've got both ports. So I
Right.
should be able to connect the two 32-inch 4K monitors with it at the same time.
Well, the issue would be at least the ones that I've tested, you have to include, you get two choices, right? You get two choices without a
Docking station.
docking station. You only get two choices. But the problem is on a laptop, you can't get rid of the small screen. That has to be one of your choices. So that limits you to, I don't, now
Yeah,
that's
but you can select not to have it display.
right.
That's what.
But you're still going to need a docking station, except on the Mac. I think the new M4 Mac laptop gives you 3 monitors, so they've got around that. But that's coming up in the video. That's another story.
Okay, well, I'm going to connect up two 32-inch monitors later today and see if it works.
Dorothy, go ahead.
Just a comment and a question. When buying a new computer or a laptop, you need to turn the computers around to find out what ports. I got caught with that because I got a new Dell computer a year ago and it did not have HDMI ports. It did not have VGA ports. And this 25-inch monitor that I use is VGA. So I had to buy an adapter. We are finding also people who are buying laptops, they don't have the ports they need, or a lot of them don't realize there's no CD player and things like that. So, but whenever I go to a computer store, I always turn it around and I make note of all the ports. And I recommend, if you're not sure when you're buying, to go with someone that knows things about computers. Because computer stores they don't take into consideration the person's knowledge of what they're buying. So
yeah, one port that's difficult to see is the display port, because it uses a USB-C port with a DP on it. You have to look really close to see the DP.
The fellow at Costco said, yes, there's an HDMI. And then, of course, I bought a new monitor to have double monitors, and no, there wasn't. So, but anyways, my other question was whenever I go to save something using Word or whatever, it always defaults to OneDrive, and that just absolutely drives me crazy. I know how to move it down into where I want, but it just continually does that, and I don't know if there's a way to get rid of that.
Hewie, do you have a comment on that? Do you know?
Yeah, Dorothy, one thing I always recommend to people is, if you have your phone with you anyway, take pictures of what you look at. When you go to look for a computer, don't plan on buying it that day.
No,
because it gets really confusing, and you get it home and you think, oh, that was the one that had the HDMI in it, and it isn't. So take pictures of it, take pictures of the model number so you can do some research on them as well.
Yeah, usually I'm out looking for people.
You must know the saving to OneDrive. How do you stop that?
You go to options and change your default storage location.
Okay. In settings?
In settings.
Okay.
Well, and bring up Word and then go to options, and then you see where the save options are. You can change the default from
perfect. Thank you.
OneDrive to your local drive.
Okay,
also realize that salespeople in the store are not there to give you actual help. They're there to sell the product.
Yes.
If you get a knowledgeable one, you're lucky, but that's not necessarily the case.
Totally.
Yeah, one of the tricks I always use when I talk to a salesperson is ask them a question that you know the answer. And if they don't know the answer, you'll know right away that you don't want to ask them anything else.
All right, Jim, go ahead, or Chris, or whoever.
Yeah, I was the Mac M2 has the capability of multiple screens. I have the regular Mac screen down here, but I have one big curved one and one flat screen up behind me. I mean, so one's in front of Chris and I have the curved screen in front of me and the control screen, which is the laptop screen. And then I also have a sidecar display onto an iPad that gives me the ability, I use that as my teleprompter monitor. And it's amazing. I have 4 screens in front of me right now on a Mac M2 without an adapter. Okay.
Yeah.
I have an HDMI on one and a C out to the other. The sidecar is wireless, the iPad, and then the laptop itself. So it just works for me, for what I do. It's great. It's overkill for almost anyone, though.
So, Jim, on the monitors that you use, they're not Mac monitors, right? They're different. No. They're made by different companies, correct?
Right. One's a Philips and one's a Samsung.
Yeah. Now, when you went and you purchased those monitors, what display ports do you plug those into, or did you buy them specifically with HDMI?
Well, I have choice. The monitors have HDMI. One of them has 2 HDMIs, a display port that I could use direct, or from a C adapter. So I have one just an HDMI, straight HDMI, and the other one is a C to a display port. Just for the higher ones.
Yeah, so that's the issue is, of course, monitors come with different ways of connecting, and some monitors actually, like if you get a real old one, like Dorothy was saying, they only connect by VGA. It's a problem, right?
So, no, I got that old CGA monitor in there. Come on. Yeah, I understand.
Yes,
I have a VGA monitor over here on another computer that I just use as a PC external monitor.
Yeah,
for
and that is
laptop.
Truly one of the big advantages of a Mac. So you're going to talk Chris into being a Mac person pretty soon if you're not careful.
She's on her way. I don't know. We still, we both have PCs, but I took the Mac. I took my laptop with me for this trip. I did not even take it out of the bag. I did everything on the phone.
Murray, go ahead.
You're muted, Murray.
Unmute yourself.
Oh, there I am. Okay. I first of all, just a comment about monitors. I wish I had the real estate for it. I have to do the opposite. I have to share my monitor among 4 computers. So I have a KVM switch to do that. But the question I have is a Windows one that maybe Drew will know the answer to this one. I find that, I have a large hard drive. I think it's 8 terabytes. And it's, quite full. And it's almost all videos. So they're all, 4 to 10, 12 gigabyte files. But I find that when I copy a file from anywhere to that drive, it maybe takes 30 seconds. What happens is when I move it over, I see a little wheel going around up in the upper left-hand corner, and it takes maybe 5, 10, 15 seconds before that wheel stops spinning around and it then moves to the right place. And I can actually do something with it, like open it with VLC. I'm wondering why that is. And
it's not an SSD.
Oh well, of course it's not an SSD. I don't
right.
think I can afford it.
That's why it takes that long.
Yeah, I know, but it doesn't take that long on my laptop, for example, when I do the similar thing. But of course it is. I think I think an 8 terabyte SSD would be a bit expensive.
To please the spirit.
All right, that we'll have to work on that. Ray, go ahead.
Just a couple of points on the monitors, etc. When Carol bought her desktop several years ago, she ordered it directly from, in this case, it was HP, and told them what she wanted. And so she has connectivity for 4 monitors on the back of that desktop. and some are HDMI, some are DisplayPort. So you can, if you're really interested, you should order the PC to the specifications rather than just going into a store and buying one off the shelf. And today I'm using my mini computer, and I have two monitors because I'm able to use not only the one HDMI port, but the USB-C, which comes in so handy for so many different applications these days.
Excellent. So true. Dorothy, go ahead.
Just a quick comment. The reason I have the VGA 25-inch monitor is I've got a VGA KVM switch with 4 computers. So that's why I had the problem when I got the new computer, but I got that sorted. And thanks, where's it? Bill. Yes, I fixed all my Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. It was automatically in the options, saved to the cloud by Microsoft. I unticked that, and then I went save to the local computer in the particular folders. So I'm all good. Thank you.
Bill's usually pretty smart. He knows that stuff. And Hewie, go ahead.
Yeah, a couple of things. The first one is I saw on a news report that NVIDIA may be considering purchasing Intel. That's something for us to keep an eye on. Might make a big difference down the road, and it might be of interest to some of you. The other is, as far as the ports go, well, no, actually, as far as monitors go, when I got one of my computers, I had a touchscreen 24-inch monitor, and I loved it. And when it died and I started looking for touchscreens, they just aren't out there. And if they are, they're extremely expensive. So if anyone ever sees one that's reasonable and a touchscreen, let me know.
All right. There you go. Anybody else? Any quick questions? We probably got a couple of minutes left before we have to leave. If not, Steve, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just going to add something to what Murray was asking about. Samsung makes a QVO drive that has 8 terabytes on it for about $800.
All right. Thank you, Steve. Okay. Looks like that's a wrap for today. I want to thank everyone for coming. I want to thank the great presentations we have today. Thank you, Hewie. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Ray, and thank you, Drew. Thank you so much for doing that today. I think it was a great show, and it will be recorded. It is recorded and will be posted later on today. We'll see everyone next week, same time, same place, and don't forget our Thursday show coming up this Thursday, and we'll have a lot of fun doing that as well. Thanks so much. All right.
Bye all.
Till next week. We'll see you again. Bye-bye now.